Some of you might say that is nonsense. The recollection of my success in fishing with my grandfather would certainly not defeat my psychological inertia in learning how to fly an airplane, for example. Instinctively, we think that different circumstances require different skills, and therefore new circumstances will require new skills, and here you have it, the psychological inertia. But what if I tell you that any success of our lives has the same common denominator, a core that is equal to all circumstances? If there is such a core equal to all success stories, then I can use my success in fishing with my grandfather, for example, to learn how to fly. Let me give you an example. Music. There are 7 musical notes, and let's say that you learn how to play the 9th Symphony of Beethoven. Now you can learn and play any rock melody as well, because you know that any melody is just a different combination of those 7 notes. So if we identify the notes of success, then we will be able to play our lives as a melody, classical or rock, either way. That is what I mean when I refer to measuring success. The measure of success is a uniform system of parameters that can be applied to different experiences of our lives, like pounds and kilos, which allows for example, to compare an elephant to a mouse. But to define the measure of success, however, first we must define what success is. Merriam-Webster defines success as the degree or measure of succeeding, or as a favorable or desired outcome. Or according to Google, success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. As you can tell, these definitions highlight the association of success to the conclusion of an undertaking. I want the idea that success can be employed as the beginning of any undertaking, for example, to generate motivation. So how do we measure success? 3 steps: objectives, theory, and reshaping. As we said, success means accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So first, we must establish that aim or purpose, which we would call objectives. To be successful, you have to be successful at something, or in something. They cannot be successful without objectives. For example, Inwell is successful in providing literacy skills to Nigerian girls. Inwell's objective, therefore, was and is to provide literacy skills to Nigerian girls. After setting out your objectives, you must develop a theory of cause and effect, a theory on how to achieve your objectives. Ask yourself, what activities will lead me to achieve my objectives? And as with every theory, it must be tested. It must be tested through a process of trial and error, which more likely than not will require you to reevaluate your theory occasionally. Yes, you will not get it right the first time, probably neither the second time, but keep trying and keep trying. Each mistake you make is a lesson that you learn, and I promise you that if you do not give up, you will succeed in achieving your objectives. Let me give you the Inwell example. More than 10 years ago, Dr. Okechukwu set the objective to provide literacy skills to Nigerian girls. To do so, Dr. Okechukwu established a partnership with certain local institutions. From the US, she supplied educational resources even before the rabbi that we saw in the video. Established a partnership. She supplied educational resources as to provide underprivileged girls the opportunity to learn. Unfortunately, those supplies at the beginning were allocated only privately. Then, Dr. Okechukwu realized that she needed to change something. She needed to reshape her theory because that methodology would not